Think you know esports? Then prove it. Win real money on all your favorite esports games. Just pick your event. We have loads to choose from. And place your bet. Win real money at Betway.
Work. Hello everybody and welcome back into Moonduck TV, where we're here presenting the World Cyber Arena 2016 Season 2 Upper Bracket Finals. We are here with Escape Gaming versus Kaipi in a best-of-5 series. That's right, it is a best-of-5 in the Upper Bracket Finals, and we're here on game number 4. Are we going to go the distance, or is Kaipi going to go ahead and just, finish it off right here? They've been looking really good for the past 2 games, and let's see if they can carry it through to get that third game that they need for victory in the grand finals. With that said, my name is Mont. Again, we're here on Moonduck TV, and as always, Purge is joining us today. And Purge, Kaipi's looked really good these past 2 games. They really have. They're impressing me a lot as a team right now. Again, they do have 2 stand-ins right now, so I'm not sure. From what I've heard, obviously, the secret announcement was that Pilot Eyes stand on secret, but maybe he's just playing around with Kaipi right now. I wonder who their support will be when Pilot Eyes not here, but is it fair to use Pilot Eye as a stand-in all the way to the grand finals to get qualified and then swap him out? I'm not sure. That's maybe a question for a different day, but he's here for the long haul, it seems. Is he gonna stay for the grand finals or leave? Because that's what I'm asking. Like, it's because he's clearly playing this series today. I mean, it's only one day, so who knows? Maybe it'll change later, but I'll have to look at their rosters for the previous series they played. I don't know if I covered Kaipi earlier. I was wondering who the support was after Zai. I know it was Masquerade, then Zai, and then Come With Me was the support that they added after Zai. By the way, should point out, I've been saying 3. I know his real name is the Coon, but I think I like pronouncing 3. It's a little bit easier to pronounce. It's also a better nickname as well. Yeah. Considering that's a racial slur. So I would agree with that. I wasn't gonna bring that up, but I'm glad you did. But you know what else I'm gonna bring up, Purge, is Betway.com. And that makes sense. Yeah. So you guys can check out Betway.com, and of course it's a great betting site. 100% legitimate, real money betting site. Of course, as long as you're in a legal betting country and you're over 18 years of age, you can actually bet at Betway.com. And if you sign up at Betway.com using the banner below, you'll get a free €5 bet. So make sure you guys check that out. But we're into the draft, Purge. Escape picked up the Ricky and the Bat Rider. Kaipi picked up the Kunkka and the Murata. Real quick, I know there's been a lot of discussion about this. Is it Kaipi or KP? Does anyone know, really? It should be Kaipi, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I just get confused when I look at their logo and it says KP. So I'm like, oh, KP. But it's actually Kaipi. I just made that mistake. Yes. All right, let's talk about the game. Kunkka Murata opening here for Kaipi. Very standard, very solid for them. It's been effective. Escape, both teams consistently stealing heroes back from one another. The Jugs pick is smart, like we talked about before. Kunkka Murata combos, he can just spin it. Very nice for him. Ricky good at roaming. It was very, very effective last game. And Bat Rider as well changes things up a little bit. But with Oracle being gone and SD also being gone on the first wave, it's a pretty good opening here for Escape. I feel like it always comes down to pick order, almost, in a lot of these games. Like, oh, you guys pick Kunkka Murata, we'll just go for the Juggernaut this time around. You guys did it, it worked out pretty well, so we'll take it this time. And first introduction of Bat Rider, I think, in the series so far. I believe so. And the hero is, and I've talked about this with a couple of people all over the place, and he's just a hero that regardless of where he is currently in the metagame, unless he's nerfed to oblivion, which he did have that one patch where he was very, very, very nerfed, he's almost always going to be in the meta, I feel like, because of his toolkit and what he can accomplish with it. Yeah, I mean, it's just so threatening to be able to lasso somebody and pull them towards your team out of position by that far. It's like a Aghanim's Vengeful Spirit swap, essentially. But it all comes down to whether or not you can catch him before that moment. So before he gets BKB, for example, in a lot of cases, Kunkka's going to be able to X-mark him as he starts the lasso, and then if you cast that again immediately, it can break lasso. So it's actually a super good Bat Rider counter, just right off the bat. I think as long as the distance traveled is far enough, I think it will actually break lasso almost immediately. It might also break it just right immediately, but it's a good counter, basically. That sounds correct. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Escape's draft so far, but the Tidehunter pick, what do you think about this in particular?
It's pretty decent against Batrider, because you can crack and shell, obviously, so that's pretty nice. Especially if somebody gets lassoed. Usually what happens is you lasso somebody, you pull it towards your team, and then Tide can follow up and blink and ravage and just make the assumption that the other team is grouping around where the lasso target is. So usually you can catch a really good ravage that can pretty much mess up that initiation. So in that sense, it's quite a good pick. He does have to worry about Smoke Cloud. Omni Slash is quite good against Tide usually also. So there's a couple issues that Tide will have to be worried about, but as a whole, I think the Tide pick is good. It's also going to severely reduce the damage of Escape in the mid game just due to Anchor Smash. So I think it's a good pick.
And the Ogre Magi comes out for Escape Gaming, thus buffing up, well, Ricky, Juggernaut, and theoretically even the Batrider too. He right-clicks a fair bit if he has enough CK Napalm stack, so Bloodlust is going to help. Not to mention movement speed, which is even more important for Batrider in the early stages of the game, and really for all of these heroes. I think in the Ogre, he's just a strong hero regardless of who you pair him with. I can't think of any really terrible pairings with an Ogre Magi, but I'm sure there are some. Okay, fair enough, but that does give him move speed at the very least, so it's...
Yeah, but he can't attack and his move speed's already good. That's probably the worst I can think of off the top of my head, but... yeah, you're right. Like, Ogre really does facilitate the rest of your team to be very strong. We didn't really get to see that much in the previous game, unfortunately, but Ogre is really good, yeah.
It came down to
his early roaming's amazing too. Like, that's really the part that you kind of need to exploit on Ogre. And they can this game. Ricky plus Ogre is a very, very dangerous combo because basically Ricky can be anywhere that they don't expect. And then if you can get the Ogre there as well, then all of a sudden you kind of have a less predictable roam.
You're going to have to be very careful with how you set up this mid lane. Again, Mirana, luckily she has leap, but if you get smoke screened, it's not going to matter. They should have enough damage between an Ogre, a Ricky, and we'll call it... Honestly, it could be Jug or Bat mid, or they could pick up something else from it too, which is the crazy thing. But we don't know where KP is going either. Kaipi is going, either. They have the Mirana, which has been run mid a lot, and I think Sing Sing played it safe lane first game though, or one of the games.
Yeah. Game 1 he played it safe lane. They lost that game. Game 2 played it mid, I believe, or somebody did.
I think it was.
I might be thinking of the other team. It would have been Escape that played it mid. I think maybe Limp or something. I think Limp played it mid Mirana versus Juggernaut, which was Sing's Juggernaut. That was game 2.
Well, Sing Sing did have a mid Juggernaut against that Limp. I want to say Limp Legion. I think also against someone else too. I think it was 2. And now Kaipi go for the Terrorblade, which was very popular back in Manila, and even picked a little bit in TI, but sort of fallen out of favor.
It's a good pick here though. I like how they did bench 4th pick, so it was a little unexpected, and then they grabbed TB at the end. Their opponents were expecting Slark, but TB kind of covers a lot of the issues that, like, it's kind of out of nowhere. The main issues are Smoke Cloud from Ricky, a couple chain disables, but he can always do Sunder, so as long as there's not, like, Juggernaut Omni Slashing him, there's going to be a target that he can use, most likely. And with Swap, he can get outside of the Smoke Cloud, I believe. So the fact that they just, like, finish their draft like that is kind of unpredictable and pretty scary for Escape.
Yeah.
TB should be able to DPS through all these guys really rapidly.
I think it does come down to those swaps, and really, well, the teamfight initiation from the rest of Kaipi, making it so the Terrorblade isn't getting focused, and if Escape gets stunned enough, then Terrorblade can stay alive. He can get a Sunder off, or he can just start laying into him with his damage from his images as well as Metamorphosis. So Terrorblade, Terrorblade the Hunter, now going to be picked up, and it's Alk for Escape Gaming. Woo! All right,
another stun. Their team fight just looks pretty inferior to what Kaipi has, though. I'm not sure. I feel like Escape's going to have some trouble making space for Alk. I guess they have a pretty good 4-man rotating, but it's very relevant how fast Bat gets Blink. If Kezu's Blink is delayed, then the 4 heroes aren't going to be able to create space very well, I don't think. And Kaipi should be able to just group up and push or take fights while TB splits or groups of the team as well. So I think I like Kaipi's draft far better here. Alchemist is a pretty solid pick, but I think they have the damage to deal with him at all stages of the game.
I feel like there's a little bit of everything. Lots of team fight, good magical damage. You have Cleave with Tidebringer if you want to build into that. You have Wave of Terror for armor reduction. Gush as well. So the thing is that this would be a very good Roche-taking team if they were on Dire. They're on Radiant, however. Not to say it's the worst thing in the world, but that's just how I feel about this roster. I mean,
it should be fine. They just got to win a fight first, and then they can go take it. But until then, they can't because they have to worry about Batrider. That's 4 melee heroes on escape, by the way. If anything, there's too many people to Bloodlust, actually.
He's gonna have his job cut out for him. How much? It's 50 mana per Bloodlust, and he only starts with a 254. Now he does build into what usually arcanes, I believe, for the most part.
Yeah, you can change it up. Might be a really good Glimmer game. I think that's maybe what Sin should have done last game. He ended up going to Arcanes into an eventual Glimmer, but the Glimmer was quite delayed, despite his early farm. But he got Arcanes instead, which is good. But I don't know. I think a fast Glimmer, maybe with a Soul Ring or Raindrop Wand, would have been more efficient. Maybe like a Wand. Wander and perhaps Era's going to be scouting for this.
Yeah, this is a good position.
This is tough. He's
he
got a
sees Bone 7. The
wow.
Oh man, if Era did, Bone 7. Yeah, he did. He walked a little too far forward. That torrent would have hit otherwise.
That's actually, like, I saw those Bambo Rage pings, dude. Did you see those pings?
That
was Bambo. He's like, you moved, because the torrent was gonna land, but he showed. So he started walking, and it would have been a torrent into Venge approaching with Venge stun, and possibly an arrow, most likely. They would have had that kill. That would have been FB.
They even have the arrow skill up right now, so they're ready to go.
Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake. Man, if somebody would have First Blood Boots advantage, that can change an early game so much.
Mind you, they did drop that ward down over the Ancient stack on the Radiant side, so there is some vision from Escape. Not only that, but there's this ward placed in such a way that it will block the pole camp as well. Not only that, but get some okay vision. Like to be a little bit maybe over towards this area, maybe down behind the tower over here would be nice. I don't know if you want it that early, but now mid lane, Metamorphosis 3-man mid, and Limp is caught out, but he does have Blade Fury. I don't think this is a kill. They commit 3 and meta to trying to get this. The torrent misses also with the Absol and Limp just now salving up.
Yeah, Bambo trying to interrupt the salve there, that could have been absolutely game-changing. If the salve gets interrupted as soon as the spin ends, then Limp just loses his lane. He'd have to go back to heal, pretty much. So it's kind of a big deal that they didn't get that kill.
I mean, in the end, it is a Terrorblade Maiden. What do you think about that now? I mean, it's very good against the Jug range,
now.
I feel like, but...
As soon as his Metamorphosis goes away, that's when things get a bit iffy.
Yes, exactly. And that
he still less hits really well, but as soon as Limp starts spinning aggressively, it gets tough. Picks up a fast Windlace just to have movement speed advantage. That way he can maybe get away out of Blade Fury range.
Barrett moves back down bottom. 4 last hits. Pretty good start for him, but the Tide as well as the Terrorblade getting off to the faster start. Again, though, still very early on here. Sing Sing. Offlane Mirana, which is not something you expect. He is farming the jungle by just taking a couple of arrows and sending them into the Hellbear Smasher. So, okay. It's
a very speed gaming MLG right now.
Yes.
Mirana and or Clock offlane.
If only Clock was actually good in this meta.
Once in a while he is, but most of the time no.
Oh well. We'll keep our eyes peeled bottom.
So, Bat versus Tide is not very special. Like, Tide shouldn't die here because he should be able to crack and shell off the napalm stacks, which means Bat shouldn't get that kill, but we'll see.
Yes. Not to mention the stick that he picked up, as well as Windlace.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I think Yepsor being here is going to do almost nothing. Maybe it'll make it worth it. It's level 3 here. He could prep some stacks, go for the kill. Smoke Cloud on top of that could change it. And Ricky gets boots as well.
And I thought about trying for it, but the 3-3 just backed up a bit much. And he's going to have his sticky napalm stacks. Ooh, I thought they were going to expire, but he gets him with another one there. It was close.
He's playing it really safe, basically. He knows Ricky could be there. There's a chance that Batrider plus Tide would be a death. He's playing it real safe. Windlace boots his speed for him too, so anything that Batrider normally gets out of lowering mobility, he's going to offset that a bit with the Windlace.
And now 3-3 knows that there is the Yapster nearby, but I don't think they can dive this. He's plenty tanky, 6 tangos to regen with and a salve, not to mention 10 stick charges.
It looks like it's just a very boring-ish game. The supports eventually do rotate top to cover Mirana, and this is going to limit Era's farm. No more last hits for him, no more gold advantage. They also block the small camp to prevent him from doing that, at least. And in the meantime, Syndrome just stacking camps for Alchemist. So.
Uh-oh, there's potential for a gank mid, but Bone 7's back on his side of the river fast enough. He knows. I think the Sentry Ward might have scouted him out with the range that Yapster has.
Tide almost dies solo to Kezu, but he's got a salve, so he goes back up to full HP.
Whew. Dangerous. Meanwhile, Torrent, they're going to find Cinder. It'll try to TP away. And was that the X marks? Yes, it was. Bloodlust, he'll be pretty speedy again. 8 armor, but still with the Wave of Tear there. They need 2 more. And they'll actually only get it with the 1. Highlight die, getting the job done. I thought Cinderin had 2 right clicks before he died, but I was wrong in that instance. Great kill.
Oh, Yapsor can steal this. Can he get the last hit?
Well, he's going to show himself first.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Bambo is
Wait for it.
so dead here. Yep, there it is.
Bambo knew. Did you see
Yapsor,
him move there? He like knew. He knew he was there.
Yapsor, I thought actually auto-attacked, and I thought he auto-attacked the hero, but I guess not. I guess it was just a...
No.
It looked different on my screen.
He was like, this is taking so long, like Ricky could be here.
Magic Missile, Arrow, they've got the Torrent follow-up on Arrow as well. The Silence won't help him, not yet anyway. The good Fairy Fire, Sing Sing is low. They need one more right click. No, he's still alive, but now will finally fall. Pylai Die is the trade, however, and now it's going to be a jump back in. There's the Dust Up, no Arrow, and they're out of mana as well for Sing Sing. X Marks is going to go. They've got the Torrent on top of this, but it's not enough damage. TP away from Sing Sing. Cinderon's going to try to wrap around and stop him from getting out, but little does he know that he's already TP'd out at this point. And Bambo will just go deeper into the tree line. He's being pinged, but not exactly. They don't know where he is. They know that he's still here in the vicinity. You can see the pings. Yapsor's about to walk in, and Bambo has been found. They knew that he didn't have a TP. Torrent will hit onto 2. I don't think he could get out regardless, though. He's getting body blocked at this point. And trying to juke and jive at every juncture, but that's going to be Bambo dead.
Yapsor knows Bambo just too well. They were teammates for a long time. This is literally what's happening in this game. It's like, oh, Bambo's low mana. I'm going to go run over. He's going to suicide to neutral somewhere. And oh, I know exactly where he hides in the trees here.
Ravage bottom. Kezu just gets blowed up. Wasn't expecting the level 6 from 3-3 who gets a solo kill on the Bat Rider.
How did he do that without Gush? I'm very surprised. Like
He was low. The Bat Rider was very low.
He must have just got him with a bunch of anchors or something.
I think so, yeah.
Really surprising.
Maybe he went for a kill attempt of his own and failed and took too much damage, and then...
I mean, Bat has no regen other than magic stick of his own. It looks like he had a 10 stick as well.
The Bat Rider was doing there. Omni Slash comes out, I think, and now they're going to find a kill. It's going to be the Venge down. X Marks will go into Yapsor, the Torrent to follow. They do have Metamorphosis, but he has no mana, so the Blink Strike away will be successful. In fact, they're just fine, completely fine.
So it's going pretty good for Escape this game, with the exception of the Bat Rider dying there.
How's the Alchemist doing?
Yapsor's having a really good game, 3-0-1. The Alk that's another problem though.
No bounty runes because he's in the top lane, 20 last hits. Too shy of the Bone 7 Terrorblade, so it could be a lot worse. Sure that the Tide is having a great time, but that's not going to account for a lot if your 3 main cores, one of them is a Tide, and the other 2 are sort of struggling.
Yeah, they're having some major trouble with the Alk. It's not paying off at all right now.
Bo and Sing Sing. Yapsor nearby. No sentries placed down. Not for the Radiant team. Not that I can see. Acid Spray on the deck. And Yapsor will continue to get vision on Bambo. No dust either.
Yeah, no detection. That makes it kind of hard.
It certainly does.
So they could do an engagement here. I mean, Era doesn't have a disable though, so mostly they're just trying to cover him, but he's so far behind right now. His net worth isn't even matching the Terrorblades, so it's looking real scary for them.
Even with the... I'll hold that thought. There's the Blade Fury coming out. Bone 7 does have Sunder, but he doesn't need it right now, although... X Mark's not in position. Bambo was close. Yapsor, Dust is going to go. He's going to find this X. Yes, he will. Torrent's going to come next as well. It does hit, although he was almost out. Magic Missile will fly on X. There's the Wave of Terror. Good Blink Strike out coming from Yapsor actually will keep him alive. They needed a meta, or they needed more burst damage there, as Sing Sing does bring down the Ogre top lane. Big kill. They needed that drastically because I felt like Sing was a little bit behind.
Yeah, the supports are really behind too, and you're seeing it in these engagements. There's just not enough damage coming out of Kaipi. Kunkka almost TP'ing but cancels it. Not sure if that was on purpose, but he'll be back to base.
They could really use Ghost Ship. You're right about that. Not only Ghost Ship, but more damage getting pumped out of this Pylai Die Vengeful Spirit.
And Elk's catching up now, so he's been able to pass net worth over Terrorblade. So he's pretty happy at the moment.
Yeah, Bone 7... He needed a better start in order to be in a very good position now, but the start he had...
It's okay, but it's not amazing. There's only so much you can do against a Jug, you know? Like, he's got Quelling Blade, he's got 39 CS, that's like... It's like how many CS I get. But it's because it's against a Jug, and there's been support roaming, and it's tough. Terrorblade mid is pretty scary.
Look at this smoke. They need to get this kill. And the Torrent won't find it. Swap back, not there, not level 6. Blade Fury will go, and how far are you willing to dive is the question. Not that far, but this should be a tower taken, unless they're ready to... They TP in, they're ready to defend this no blink lasso, but they can walk up if they can. Cinder and Bloodlusting, the Bat Rider making it a bit speedier. They still have the Ravage ready to go for 3-3. And let's see how much they do want to commit to this tower. Wave of Terror will go, still no level 6. And that Vengeful Spirit, level 4. As here comes Yapstar, Blink Strike in. He drops the smoke screen. There's going to be the Torrent, not on target. Blade Fury going. Gonna push him back, wait for the next creep wave. And with that, Metamorphosis is down for it's going to be down pretty soon. They'll try to put the rest of the pressure in and try to get this tower. They just can't do it. Flame Break, too good. They have the Moonlight Shadow now down, but even with that, I don't see them pushing in and finding the tower.
The longer that Escape delays this for, the better it is for Alchemist and their team as a whole. They're wasting Metamorphosis, a lot of rotations. Oh, this is bad. Okay.
Sunder ready to go. He can turn and try to use it, although the range is pretty bad. Ravage ready to go. There's the Blade Fury. 3-3 wants to hold it. Try to get the Ravage onto 2. It's going to go perfectly timed down to Limp. Omni Slash. He will stay alive, but only for a moment longer. 3-3. Now still alive. Gets the stick off. The Anchor Smash going to work. That Rider getting chewed down as well. They want more. But the Firefly's there, and here comes the Blink Strike back, and everyone is so low. I think Kaipi need to maybe think about getting out. And they will do so. And if it's lucky that the Alchemist didn't show up, if he did, he could throw down an Acid Spray and just run at him with Chemical Rage. Might be enough to get a kill or two.
But it's more important to get farm. They did almost get some kills. Losing Limp was a big deal, but the tower's still alive. That's the really important thing in that fight as a whole.
Yeah, they didn't have meta. The Ravage hit one important target, but he got the Omni Slash off. There's still no Ghost Ship for Bambo, so they're missing on the Rum and extra damage. It's just that Kaipi are a little far off from that point there that they want to be at when it comes to taking fights early on in this game. And again, the further they are behind, the more the Alchemist continues to farm, and they might smoke for him again and go for him, but it's tougher nowadays, the Armlet and Chemical Rage.
A lot of heroes really underleveled as well. Synderen was level 2 Ogre at the start of that fight. Bambo now just trying to get 6 for him. Yapsor, similar situation, 6 on him. Everyone underleveled this game due to all the lane swaps, but they're trying to catch up now. That should lead to some good fights. The scan mid, they know that there's heroes there, probably Bat Rider, looking for a lasso. He doesn't have the blink yet though, only Arcane Boots. Arcane Boots, interesting. Going probably Aetherlands. Yeah. And Bone 7 does finish the tower.
And Blink is coming close though for Kezu, 2,100 gold now. This bottom lane, Yapsor is continuing to shadow Bambo, who has level 6. This is a sketchy kind of situation. Ricky, the voyeur himself, watching Bambo just get creeps down bottom.
Once they get Blink on Bat, that would be a pretty straightforward kill, I think.
I think so. And he's close. I mentioned he is close. He's got it now. He's flying out as we speak. I wonder if he bought it. He did buy a smoke with it. And also, Cinder had bought a smoke as well. So they have a very clear intention of, hey, guess what? You know what time it is? It's smoke blink time. But at the same time, the Tide does have a mech. So if they can respond quickly enough, they can mech and they can save whoever's getting lassoed.
Yeah, most likely. They're going to look in the Radiant jungle, though. Bambo's still sitting down here. It's good for support to be the one that's in the area. That way, if somebody does eventually get ganked, it's just a support.
Ooh, they really want Era.
Yeah, they do. They've only got one X marks the spot, though. It's so difficult. He doesn't even have phase on Kunkka either, so closing the gap can be difficult.
You could use that phase badly. And smart play from Era. He suspects that there's danger. He rotates mid where the farm is. And he's not going to... I mean, yeah, he might lose his tier 1 tower top lane. I don't even suspect that because Bone 7 has to back away, although his Dragon Lance is done. It'll take more time now to get this tier 1 tower, especially with the glyph going off.
Escape is going to be able to take a free tower bottom as their heroes are in position. It's going to get traded though. Everyone else on Kaipi is top lane. They're definitely anticipating these movements. They don't want to try to take a fight when their opponent is going to have more guaranteed vision due to Ricky. It's kind of iffy though. Trading right now feels dangerous to me just because of Alchemist. He will eventually get his Radiance. He's actually not that far behind now. He's only about 2 minutes out.
what was a maybe bit of an issue of a start, it's turned into a pretty good game for this Alchemist. Ravage! Oh no! No Ravage on Era. He's walking out happy as he can be. And the smoke screen to cover the retreat even more. Weehaw without that Ravage hitting. That's not great. That's awful, in fact. Era continues just to, he doesn't care. He's so
I think
that.
I don't think he realized how close Sing Sing was. If they would have ravaged there, they could have gotten an arrow follow-up.
Oh, is he still gonna die? They have no swap, but
it's not 6.
Arrow?
Great stun.
Lasso will come through onto Bambo, but Arrow, the Starstorm's going. He pops the armlet. Next gonna go. Cinder will give his life away. And Arrow will head into the tree line to buy a TP scroll, and I don't see him dying. The ghost ship coming through. Bambo taking a lot of damage from that Firefly, but Yapster will probably... Nope, just Kizu on the Bat Rider getting the kill. Interesting engagement.
It's a 1-for-1. Did he like Firefly in there or something? I don't know how he got trapped in the first place.
I think so.
They get a tower out of it at least. It's not terrible for Kaipi. Both teams kind of trading evenly here.
They see Yapster. They have detection. Gus comes out. Do they have any dust on them?
He swapped already, so.
Bambo does, but he's dead. That's rather unfortunate.
So he lives. He's going to go to the same build. I'm picking up Diffusal Blade. I still would like to see him max out his Cloak and Dagger. He's at a good early game again. I think he needs to go that build. They really limited him in the last game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I would not mind the max Cloak and Dagger. Sing Sing's being followed and tailed by Yapsor, and that's what a good Riki does. He tails and puts wards down all over the map, and that's exactly what's happening now.
And Arrow's almost at the Radiance. Very close. 2 or 3 camps I'll have it here. Limp going for a Yasha. So I guess Manta is the call here. Might SNY maybe. We'll see.
I'm alright with it. They're going to take the Rex, although not stacked up. Yapster will walk into a Sentry Rune, or Sentry Ward, excuse me. They have the X marks, though, and he's going to pop the smoke screen and Blink Strike away. Yapster is a master of escape, but then again, it's kind of easy for Riki. Still, Ghost Ship's going to come through as the torrent hits. Yapster will avoid it by going the opposite direction, but because of that, he runs into the open arms of Kaipi's heroes. Finally, they take down that pesky Riki.
And it's not even necessarily that Yapsor is good at escaping, it's that his teammates consistently back him up. They'll stand in areas that he can Blink Strike to get out. That one didn't quite work out, but consistently from the start of the game to the end, so far, they've been helping him blink out. Limp in trouble, he's going to have to spin TP, I think, but they should have swap, they do. He has to just get away from Benj, it's the only way he escapes this.
The body blocks, they want to make sure they can body block. The arrow will hit, they have Magic Missile, he's just not in range yet.
Can't swap yet.
Now he can.
Now he can.
Is he in range, though? I don't think he is. He's not. He's not going to be able to get in range, I don't think, unless they can find another arrow. But here comes Yapsor. Omni Slash. Oh, Sing.
Oh, Sing messed up.
Sing, that was a little too aggressive. And Pylai will die to Flame Break, I should imagine. Absolutely will. That was over-aggressive. That's definitely the word I would use.
Sing really wanted the kill there. He went for it. But
Era? Alright. Almost an okay trade there. Almost.
Ugh. Well, they got the Marana, but then Alk died. I'm sure they gave stupid amounts of gold. Just 682 gold to Alk. That was a 1200 HP, or like 1300 gold swing.
Probably shouldn't have happened.
You can't die like that. It's so important for alchemists. When you have that much net worth, if you die in little ganks like that, it trades so much back to the enemy team due to comeback mechanics.
And it was the Terrorblade that was involved as well. He didn't get the kill, I don't think, but he was involved.
Yeah, and now TB is 2-0-2. That's the kind of place that you should be really scared if you're playing against the Terrorblade. If he's positive KDA, and you know that he's going to get past this dangerous area where his HP is pretty low, like once he picks up things like Manta style Scotty, then his HP is huge. It's very difficult to kill him. So the more kills he gets early on, the less of a window you have to win the game.
He's getting there with the Dragonlance helping out as well. But they haven't really been connecting on the fights that they needed to connect on. It's going to be a lot easier with the Blink Dagger now in the Tidehunter. No Ravage though, he just used it. Top rune spot. Arrow still available. Cinderin is going to walk away. Happy that he's picked up a bounty rune. On the other side, Yapsor. Vision not there from the Venge.
They did some damage to him, but their nuke potential is not very high. And the skill build that Pylai went is just simply not very good at bursting heroes down. It's really good when he's standing next to Terrorblade, because it really amplifies his damage up, which is why he's doing it. But sometimes I feel like maybe Venge should be grabbing 2 points of Magic Missile alone, just for stun duration and damage increase.
We saw that earlier, I think either today or yesterday.
It's the dust they just purchased, and it's wasted. So, Yapster's just making these guys run in circles. He's creating an immense amount of space.
And the Ricky is doing some serious work. Game not over yet, and the net worth lead is 4,000 for Escape. That's pretty significant, and then a lot of that comes from the Alchemist, obviously. And the Ricky, too. The Ricky as support is now... 4,000 might not seem like a lot, but if he picks up a Diffusal Blade, then... Magic Missile, Limp's gonna get caught. They have the Gush. They have ready to swap back. He's gonna have to use his Blade Fury at some point. Maybe not. Blade Fury
kinda hard.
Available.
Yeah, I mean the swap. No, he didn't have TP actually. Maybe they should have just swapped. I think they should have just swapped. I don't know if they checked to see that he didn't have TP. I think that would have made it worth it. He would have had to spin maybe afterwards, and then just chase him down, Gush after or something.
Either way.
Sure.
Now it actually looks like they're starting to get aggressive. This Kaipi squad. Mac, Blink, Ravage, all up. Yeah, it's their time to go. I can understand if Escape doesn't want to fight into this. Is there Force Tap yet on the Bat Rider? Absolutely. But he was Wave of Teared, so he does get his Blink on cooldown, although the Glyph will allow him to reset, though Firefly is getting low. The Tier 2 tower will end up falling. And it's, well, it's starting to go back up. I know the net worth graph isn't updating yet, but it should head up in favor, especially if they do Roche after this. If they want to, or try to.
Sing's farm is getting pretty behind too. He's behind Juggernaut now. He's actually getting out farmed by his Tide as well. Doesn't have Ags yet, and it's 20 minutes and it's very late actually. He did go a lot of intermediary items like Phase Boots, Wand, but he's having some issues here. He should have more farm than this, I think.
He'll get there. When he gets the Aghanim Scepter, it'll help out a lot.
Yeah, it will definitely.
Yeah, man, it feels like they almost needed Jammer or Sentry Wards to deal with the Yapsor at this point.
I mean, the way that he plays is kind of interesting. He's mostly doing it vision based. It's not about setting up kills, it's just letting your opponents like, except for this case.
Yeah, in this case, it is about setting up kills as Pile Dive falls to his knees after a couple of guttings from the Omni Slash of the Juggernaut, who's building Battle Fury?
Yep, he went from Yasha back to Piet. The Yasha helps him move around the map, farming more rapidly and getting into range for Omni Slashes. And then by building Battle Fury, it's going to guarantee that he outfarms Terrorblade more rapidly in the mid game. It's a good choice, honestly.
I think they don't want to make a mistake. They want to be able to secure the late game, and one way to do that is going to be a Battle Fury.
Yep, exactly. Your farm rate goes up so much when you have Battle Fury compared to other builds. So
I'm okay with it. And they continue to just have a lead because Alchemist isn't dying. And the Jug continues to also get plenty of good farm. And it's also the Ricky again that's just really becoming a problem. So Kaipi have to find an Alchemist killer too. They can transition that into an objective. One way they could do that, or just any kill for that matter, one way they could do that is going to be a Smoke of Deceit. And while Yapsor is nearby, if he breaks the smoke, he can get out very easily. It's the ghost ship, however, that they'll find on Delimpy, but he does spin away. Swap back should be available, and in fact it is for Pile Die. He'll do it just in case, just to make sure, and Marana will pick up the kill. And double damage is picked up by Yapsor. They dust up and smoke, or dust up and drop a sentry, and they are just narrowly missing on Yapsor, who now has that DD up and ready to go, but they'll try to go for Roche anyways.
They need somebody to break Lincoln so he can gush, but it's maybe a mistake. Ben just so low on mana they can't justify it. They should be able to get it though. I don't think Escape can contest this without Jug.
It doesn't look like they're trying. Yeah. Alright.
In the meantime though, Alchemist finishes Manta. He's got BOT's Manta. Has he always had this Ring of Basilius? Is he going? There's no way he's going Vlad's here.
I don't think so. I've seen that Ring of Basilius and Alchemist more often than not. I can't remember where it comes from.
I think it might be for push reasons, just because if your illusions have a Ring of Basilius, it'll still give 2 armor to all the creeps. So maybe it has something to do with that, or just the extra armor increase in the early game is justified. Although you can do similar things with like Iron Talon in some ways, but who knows?
This is getting tense right now, Purge. I feel like it's looking like Game 5 might be right around the corner.
It might be, honestly. Kaipi is having some issues. They did just finish Roche, obviously, but the farm on Escape keeps going up. Yapsor's pretty uncontested scouting them consistently, so their ganks have been iffy. And they're forced to 5-man as well.
Finally, they find him. Oh, did they get him? That's the real question. Magic Missile comes out. Yes. Wow, they are like... I don't want to say they're lucky they get that third Starstorm, but it feels lucky almost. Again, he had the Aghanim Scepter, so...
Was it even a third one?
Yeah, it was. It was 3.
Dire's middle tower.
I'm 95%
I think it might have been
sure.
based on like vision or something. I'm not sure though. It's very confusing now to see the Starstorm thing when it retargets or whatever.
It's very strange.
Dire's
What are they gonna do? They're gonna go high ground here?
I mean, they should. There's a dead hero. They're probably not gonna win late game against Alk.
No, I don't think so. Where is the Alk? He's bottom lane. Set of racks is at stake. No glyph available. TP's coming in. Yapster's finally back alive. Another TP this time that'll come through from the Juggernaut. And
Giant purple tower.
Radiant structures are
This tower's so low.
Radiant's
They'll
bottom
back for a
tower is
second.
under
Fake
attack.
back potentially. Let the tier 2 tower fall bottom to Illusions. As the Alk has TP'd home. The X marks the TPing Sing Sing. He'll be back momentarily. He's got a Blink Dagger. He didn't pick it up.
Oh,
they
that's
have to
tough.
do it again.
Oh, that's... Ugh.
They could do it again. I don't know. They maybe shouldn't have committed there. And it doesn't matter. The tier 3's gone at the very least. Smoke screen, so the missed chance is there. And here comes the Blink Lasso, but the X marks onto the Marauder stops it from happening. Well played. Limp now swap back. Ghost Ship flying in. And look at this damage. Yapsor in trouble. 2 down. Immediate buyback coming in. Bone 7 needs to use that Sunder on somebody. Magic Missile will come through. Bone 7 has the Aegis. Maybe he doesn't need to. Again, Metamorphosis doesn't persist through death, though, so he needs to be very careful. Guardian Greaves will go again. Sunder onto Limp. Will he fall a second time? No, he will not, but the Rex, they have Glyph, though. This is a very tense situation. Escape. A couple mistakes away from throwing this game away. They will lose the melee Rex. Yes. Time to get out for Pylai and the rest of the crew. Here we go, though. Starstorm dropping Omni Slash. They need a Sunder. They need a Sunder. And it's the Aegis that's gone. Sunder was already used. Limp now. Blade Fearing away. There's the Unstable Concoction. Arrow now with the Chemical Rage. Gets X marks back. Can they bring him down? It's the melee form. Bone 7 doesn't do nearly enough. The Torrent just off the mark, and it looks like Arrow will stay alive with the Chemical Rage, healing him back up. But Bambo getting chased down. Kezu wants this kill with 2 sticky napalms and a Firefly. You bet your ass he'll fall.
Oh, such a close fight there. Escape almost held it, but they did lose melee barracks already. They got some return kills at least. The supports went down, but they didn't get the important cores. Only getting an Aegis there. That's tough. You know, just this small window here that they weren't quite ready for that Rax attempt, and they got punished pretty hard. The big thing was Limp dying. He had to buy back as well, so his farm rate's now really behind, and maybe he's regretting that Battle Fury a bit.
Yeah, this is a problem now because it was a 7,500 net worth lead, and it's down to 2,500 for Escape. So every little inch matters in this game, as you just saw. Had they killed the Alchemist and forced him to buy back, would have been even better. Or a dieback on Limp, one of the two. That's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, however, for Kaipi.
It really makes the Vengeance just so good because of this. It's kind of beautiful the way that Kaipi did their draft, if you think about it. They opened with Kunkka to bait out the Jug pick, and then they said, well, then we'll pick Jug counters in the last 2. I'm pretty sure they planned this going into it, considering how well it matches up against it. Like, Jug is just so punished. He can't just spin TP, so the later ganks are very easy. And then just the whole swap thing. Swapping into Terrorblade and melee range, he kills anybody. He does more damage than any other hero when his illusions are up. Except for maybe Chaos Knight.
Roche is now down for some real long time. They have Biscotti for Terrorblade, which is going to make him tankier, but again, it's not a second life. Meta is back up. Ravage is getting there. 36 seconds, and they'll have everything ready to go. Blink has been picked up for Limp, so his mobility is there. It's not a damage item, it's not a survivability item. You can argue that it is a survivability item with mobility that it gives you. But here they go, smoke from the side. Escape will look to find a fight. They're going to look for Kizu to get a lasso, and they'll find it on Pylai Die. But meanwhile, the Gush is on Kizu. Ravage is back up soon. Trick for the trade will go. Pylai Die getting low, and so is Bambo. But still, can they find any heroes to bring down? It looks like Bone 7 he's going to have to use. That's Sunder, and now Era's going to have to get away. The Gush will go, but it's not enough. Sing Sing is taking down another on the backside. And Limp is coming back in, ready to go. The Healing Ward is there. He'll drop the Reflection. Ravage will go. Can they bring Era down? They drop down Limp. He's dead for 86. The Gush is there. Era doesn't have the Chemical Rage. And they want to jump in. The Anchor Smash, the Armlet Toggle. They can't chase him down. They'll have to turn their attention towards the Tier 2 tower.
He's got his ulti in 3. They can chase this, especially if they keep napalm stacks on everybody here. This is looking
exactly
pretty good
what they're
for Escape.
doing. Bone 7 might be in trouble. He does a lot of damage. They'll bring down Kezu, and Era is in trouble. About to go down. He pops the Manta, and that might save his life. The Gush isn't there. The body blocks are there as well from 3-3 unintentionally. So, more TPs coming in. It's going to be this time from Yapzor. Bone 7, Unstable Concoction. No more Sunder still for 29 seconds. They have the Unstable Concoction going and doing damage as well as the silence on the ground. One goes down, and that is the biggest target. It's going to be the Terrorblade. The other TPing away is 3-3.
It's time for the Bone 7 Mask of Madness.
You think so? Oh, wow.
He just bought it before he died.
You're not wrong.
This is the Bone. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. He's a little bit slow when he goes into Metamorphosis mode, and there's always these very small windows where you need to kill somebody, and Mask of Madness is a great way to do it. It really does amplify your damage, and in some ways it's okay, because then even if you get low, you can just Sunder Swap out of it. So, kind of a good idea. Also, it does give really good lifesteal right now. One of the big differences between it and something like Helm of the Dominator or Vlad's is that Mask of Madness is 20% lifesteal. It's really close to what Satanic gives you. So, I mean, he's bringing it back, man. If anyone else is going to bring back Mask of Madness, I'm glad it's Bone 7.
Scotty doesn't work with Mask of Madness. It only works with Satanic, correct?
Lifesteal and Scotty does work together.
Okay.
I think for strong range shows, I
Lifesteal.
can't remember if they fixed it for melees yet.
Okay.
I don't think it works on melees, but for ranged, definitely.
All right, well.
We'll find out in 5 seconds when he hits his neutral.
Yeah, we certainly will.
Unless he hits it with an illusion, then we will never know.
We will never know. He's very close to 16, by the way, which is going to be an increase in it or decrease in his Sunder cooldown. 40 seconds is pretty good. It's not enough for 2 per fight, but that last fight was pretty long. So you can cut it out long enough, maybe. And the mana requirement becomes 0 at that point as well.
I wonder if he's ever going to use the Mask of Madness. It looks like he is getting both lifesteal and Scotty, by the way. So, they should stack.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting some sort of lifesteal, I think.
So, Murano went for Blink Dagger first after Ags. Now he's going for a Lincoln Sphere. Very likely because of Lasso. Can use it on himself or allies. I think it's a good choice. Maybe would have been a better idea to go E-Blade, but it does make Terrorblade not be able to attack. So, I think his item build is pretty justified here. Era's got his Octarine Core finished, so he's basically capped out. He could start buying Ags for people. And considering that he did get Solar Crest, I think it might be worth it. His damage is alright right here. But he has so many good Ags heroes on his team. They could put an Ags on Batrider, on Ogre, on Jug, and it would be really useful.
I like Jug.
I think I would like him doing it.
I think the Jug Aghanims pick up in this game is just stats and the extra couple of jumps that it gives you to maybe survive or whatever. But look at this. Kezu's been found. He's going to get caught up in the high ground. Then he gets brought back with the X, and he gets eviscerated. Now they're looking for Yapzor. Gem is down. They will TP out 1. Gem is being picked up, I think, by the courier and brought back. No, who has it?
No, Pi has it.
Okay.
Pi picked it up instantly. He just dropped like a Windlace or something.
They gave it to 3-3 on the Side Hunter. Unless
that was pretty random. Kind of unlucky, actually. Kaipi was moving over to try to see if Roche was there. But I think Escape knew that it wasn't there. So then he maybe forgot that his opponents didn't know if Roche was up or not, which is why he felt comfortable doing that, perhaps, is maybe why he made that mistake. Did that make sense, Mont?
Yeah,
I think it was a good point.
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay.
I was just thinking of something else.
So, Batrider getting blown up there is pretty huge. This gives Kaipi another window slightly. Also, now when they use Moonlight Shadow, their opponents aren't going to have the gem. Very important.
That is so true. It's down for how long, by the way, for Escape? It's up. They can buy one. As the Radiant Courier dies to Yapzor, unsurprisingly. So yeah, I mean, they have the ability to buy another gem. As the lasso is going to come through, Kezu Ravage will hit up, but only onto him. Here comes the Ghost Ship. Omni Slash will fly through. Lasso's done, and so is that Batrider. But now Era on the run. Swap back, and they bring him down. Very tanky. The Chemical Rage, they have the X marks. That should be enough. The Torrent is going to come through. They need more damage, and they're doing it. He pops the Armlet Toggle, the Magic Missile, and that'll be it. He's down for 80, but he's got buyback, and he might have to use it soon. They've got another X marks, this time on Synderen, and he's going to go down. Buyback's only on the Alchemist. That's it. We'll see how far they go. Bambo X marks is himself. He's going to TP home, regen as much as possible with the salve. And
turn off your armlet, man.
There you go.
He lost like all of that. because he left his armlet on the whole time.
And the salve is done too.
Yeah, he basically just turned off his armlet, went back to base, and salved without any fountain healing. He should be at 80%. But it's not a big deal. They win the fight very convincingly. I don't think Escape was necessarily ready to take that fight. Kezu did see an opportunity, but the Ravage, like we were talking about in the draft, it just makes it so difficult for Escape to fight until they get a BKB on a couple of heroes. And even the Omni Slash from Juggernaut didn't seem very effective. I think they were boat buffed the whole time.
I think so.
So any damage done, it was very hard for them to pick off heroes in that fight.
That boat buff is... It sometimes is rarely noticeable, but I think in that fight, that's where, like, when no one goes down from Kaipi after all those abilities are dropped, that's when you kind of know, like, okay, this ability has saved their lives one too many times.
Terrorblade probably going to go something like Butterfly next. All the carry heroes on Escape need to make MKBs, but they're already behind. It's a really dire situation for Escape now.
He's going to go that Butterfly. The quarterstaff purchase, as you mentioned, this is going to be MKB Central, but who can get it like you said? It's Era that's really probably the only one with any semblance of money at this point. Yep. Him and, well, the Riki, but he's not getting an MKB anytime soon.
He sold the Mask of Menace as well. Not too surprised.
He had that for like all of a minute, or well, maybe
yeah,
not a
he
minute,
did.
but
It was a slight waste. Loses about 1,000 gold, but not a big deal considering his farm position in this game. He's doing great, and now he basically offsets an item that increases his attack speed and gives him movement speed with a better item that does the same thing and gives him evasion. So definitely worth it in this case.
No lifesteal though. But oh well.
He's got Sundry. He's cool.
Exactly.
And the Pipe Mech as well, or the Pipe Guardian Greaves on Tidehunter, making a big impact. 2-0 and 16 on Tide is playing amazing.
This Tidehunter is playing Ohio levels, or whatever Tide you want to talk about. His Ravages, I mean, yeah, they haven't been 3 or 4 man Ravages, but he's ravaged the important heroes for the most part.
Damage.
Tower's gone. Shiva's Guard is up. It's a good way to clear illusions. He's going to pop it and go to work. And now, well, 3-3 walks in. Ravage hits on just about everyone. Lip will go down. No buyback. Cinderin is next. He doesn't have buyback, and here we go. Rax will fall, and Escape might be going down to the losers bracket, especially if Era falls here. He's going to have to Manta. X-Marks will bring it back. Can they focus him down? Era's getting low. Is it enough damage? The Radiance Burn misses are there, but it's just not enough. No buyback for anybody on the Dire side. Not for at least 100 gold for the Juggernaut, and they've taken 2 sets of racks. But what will they go for next? They try to get the last bit of the melee or ranged racks mid. Will they go for the tier 4? So they're going to back off. They have a huge advantage. I don't think they want to waste it.
I think. Yeah, there's not really that big of a deal for them to keep going. They have no Ravage, but that's it. They can finish. Oh, there's a tier 2. That's the only downside, actually.
They can go for tier 4s here, but
they just kill Moonwells, I think. That's the most important thing for now.
They found Yapsor, by the way. He's done. Should be done.
Is he done?
Should be done. No. Yes.
Oh, God.
Bone 7, like, literally waited for him to drop down, and then he said, hey, what's up?
That's actually one of those really good times where you can toggle on and off auto attack, because if you have auto attack off, you have to do an A-click. If it's on, then you'll just instantly start attacking Riki as soon as you get the chance. Very good against, like, pucks and things, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought about that before.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Demon Edge on TB probably going to be... Alright, he does... I was going to say Daedalus, but MKB is the right choice just because of evasion on Alchemist, and also prevents the Jug from going something like Butterfly to be able to resist damage as well. So, it's not as high damage as the Daedalus is for all of his illusions, but it's going to make killing Alchemist absolute child's play.
Yeah, and that's what they need. He's the one that's surviving the longest in these fights, and it's not because of, you know, his HP, and maybe a little bit because of his armor, but it's mostly because of Mischance and the armor together, I think.
Yep. So I think it'd be really difficult for Kaipi to lose this game at this point. They just need to take another straightforward team fight. Don't make too many mistakes, and should be the last racks. Nice smoke out here from Escape. Perfect timing. Maybe could have gone a couple seconds earlier, but here comes the wrap.
There they go. They're going to wrap around. Kezu's going to go in from the backside. They see the fire. There's the Wave of Tear. They're going to jump in. Ravage is not there for 9 seconds, but the Omni Slash, they've already lost Kezu, but the Omni Slash does nothing so far. 2 dead Cinderin, and they're going to lose Era. Look at the chunk damage to Starstorm, and the next leap, the Ravage will catch him, and he's dead for 80 again. That is it. GG is called, and Kaipi will take the series 3-1. Great best of 5. We don't get to that 5th game, but all around sound play coming out from Kaipi Burge.
Yeah, they absolutely deserve to win this series. They had, even the one game they lost, they were doing extremely well, and they just lost off of a couple fights and nice plays from Escape. But I think Kaipi really proved themselves to be the better team. Draft alone this game, they give themselves a huge advantage having both the Venge as well as the Terrorblade against Jug. It made Jug so much more useless this game to have to eat through all those illusions and all of the general stuff like that. So really sick drafting there from Kaipi. They played their opponents right into their hands, and then they executed even better than them as well. So they deserve it.
So they'll be heading on to the grand finals, Kaipi will, and impressive display as well, impressive fashion. And the WCA European qualifiers are not done yet, though. We have Kaipi moving on to the grand finals, Escape going down and facing up against Vega, and then the winner of that series will also move on to the grand finals. And from here on out, it's all best of fives. 2 BO5s left for WCA Europe, the second season, of course. Make sure you guys... well, I guess we'll update you on the times for that Vega versus Escape gaming series. So if you guys follow us on Twitter, or Moonduck TV on Twitter, or WCA, hopefully we'll be able to get that information to you perhaps before the stream ends today. So maybe stick around a little bit longer for that, and I'll let you guys know through the Twitch chat. Otherwise, it's been an absolute pleasure. Purge is with me here. Of course, you guys know where to find him. Twitter.com/PurgeGamers, and myself at Twitter.com/MontDota. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. We will see you guys next time, and hopefully this time it goes to all 5 games. See everybody later.